Yes, every moment in my life could be bringing me closer to what I could be. Yes.
Welcome to the Edor Style channel. My name is Emma Dor. For these recipes, I'm using coconut milk on everything. Okay, I love coconut milk and it's really good for you. Let me show you a few recipes. One of my all-time favorite recipes is my creamy butternut squash soup with roasted lotus root. First things first, I've got a butternut squash here and I already cleaned off the seeds and put a light drizzle of olive oil. For seasoning, I'm going all in with some Vegeta. If you know, you know, I always use this. It's my favorite. It tastes amazing. I'll be using some thyme, garlic powder, and a pinch of Himalayan salt. I don't usually put salt in my food. Yes, oh my God, shocking, but it still tastes really, really good. Salt is just horrible for your body, so I tend to avoid it. Oh, and normally I'd add minced garlic, but today I'm all out. No worries though, it's still going to be amazing, but if you have some, definitely add your garlic. Alright, so to speed up the roasting process, I'm wrapping it in foil. I'll pop it into a preheated oven set at 350 degrees and I'll let it roast for about 20 to 25 minutes. After the butternut squash did its thing in the oven, I'll let it sit for about 10 minutes to cool down, and I'm going to shred it while it's still warm. You still want it semi-warm, it's just easier that way. Next, into my trusty Ninja cup goes the roasted butternut squash along with some creamy coconut milk. I'm going to blend this until it's velvety smooth. Alright, so I'm going to transfer this into a saucepan and cook it on low heat for about 10 to 15 minutes. While that is cooking, as for my lotus root topping, I'm starting with a bit of olive oil and some vegan butter, and I've already sprinkled some spices, my favorites. Same thing as I did for the butternut squash. The only difference is I did add some breadcrumbs, and I'll be air frying it for about 15 to 20 minutes. There you have it. My creamy butternut squash soup with roasted lotus root topping is ready. And as you can see, what's great about this soup, it's very versatile. You can use it as a sauce for your meals or as a spread for your wraps and sandwiches. And the lotus root really keeps you full longer and is filled with iron. Coconut rice and jackfruit. Alright, let's kick things off with the coconut rice. I've got a pot here and I'm adding some olive oil, green onions, and dried tomatoes. This is how I usually make my rice. You know, I add my foundation, which will be based with flavor, and then I'll do all the ricey things. Alright, so I'll let this simmer for a moment before adding my favorite spices, just so that the spices don't burn. Along with some Worcestershire sauce, vegetable broth, and creamy coconut milk. I ended up using coconut cream. I didn't know I was using coconut cream, but it was amazing. So you can either use the cream or the milk. I would go with the cream. It was amazing. And I let that simmer on medium heat until it starts to bubble. All right, let's talk about rice a little, okay? I'm using this type of rice. With all the fake rice there is out there, I try to keep it organic. And after washing my rice by just rinsing it to remove excess starch, I keep the heat on high. Okay, so I add my rice, I add my spices, and I cook it until there's barely any coconut milk left. Now, this step is crucial because this is how you achieve that perfect rice texture. Not too soft, not too hard. You want it to look something like this. Almost no liquid left, okay? There can be a little, but not too much, or else they'll make it too soft. Once it's at that point, I lower the heat to really low, slap on the lid, and let it cook for about 15 minutes. This is steaming process for the rice, and it will make it fluffy. Trust me, my rice is so good you can eat it with nothing. It just tastes amazing. Now I'll move on to making just a quick sauce to add to my jackfruit, just so that my meal is not too dry. It'll just accompany my jackfruit. Into the pan goes some green onions and red peppers. I let them sizzle and saute until they start to soften. I squeeze in a bit of lemon juice, sprinkle in some vegeta seasoning, dried thyme, garlic powder, and Worcestershire sauce. I add a little water. And I let that simmer. While that is simmering, I'm just going to prepare my jackfruit, which is going to be super easy. They're already cut and everything. So I'm just going to add my spices, breadcrumb, then off to the air fryer 15 to 20 minutes. And voila, my coconut rice and jackfruit is ready. This meal is amazing. It doesn't look like, 5-star restaurant, but it's super good for you, and it just really tastes great. Creamy mushroom pasta. La crème de la crème, creamy mushroom pasta. All right, so for my base ingredients, I'm going to be using dried tomatoes, green onion, and oyster mushroom. They just go best with this recipe. For the spices, I'll be adding some garlic, spoonful of maple syrup to add a hint of sweetness. Now the mushrooms are going to absorb the maple, and once I put the coconut milk, it's just going to create this very flavorful sauce. To make my sauce even creamier and thicker, I'll sprinkle in some breadcrumbs. So it's just going to absorb a little because I had a bit too much sauce. It's just going to absorb the excess sauce and make it super thick. Et voila, my creamy mushroom pasta is ready. It's delicious. And it's really easy to prepare. The flavors are amazing. It was super quick, but when I tell you this is gonna make you feel full, like it's comfort food, but it's still very healthy. And if you wanna recreate any of these recipes, just check out the video description for all the details. Let me know if you try any of these in the comments below, and let me know if I introduced you to your new favorite meal. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share, and I'll see you on my next one. Bye!